people was very encouraging about like with each others as a group where we are really trying to lift each other up. And in today's dang world now, everyone trying to put everyone down instead, So that's why I really enjoy the group, is because a lot of the things we are going through is hard to share to other people that just couldn't remotely relate to what we are going through mentally. So, yeah.
Hi, I'm David Hirsch, host of the Special Fathers Network Dad to Dad podcast. 2 short messages. First, I'd like to thank those who donated more than $1,000 to the 2024 Cycle to End Father Absence campaign. In alphabetical order, they are Ina Bird, Irene and Tom Costello, Kim Duchessois, Damian Navarro, Brad Surratt, Don Stadler, and UBS Financial Services. If you haven't already done so, please go to 21stCenturyDads.org and donate today. Secondly, the 4th annual Special Fathers Network Mastermind Group Weekend Retreat took place earlier this month at the Hyatt Regency in Chicago. In total, 27 dads from across the U.S. participated, including 3 from Iceland and 1 from Ukraine. We had some meaningful conversations about the importance of self-care, respite in marriage, as well as siblings and family balance. We also shared a handful of meals together, did an indoor spinning class, and were treated to Dennis Watkins' Magic Parlor Show, Chicago's most highly rated show. For more information, please see the show notes or simply go to 21stCenturyDads.org. We just had our weekend mastermind group retreat in Chicago. There were 27 dads in total. We had a meaningful experience, lots of meaningful conversations, lots of laughs, some tears, and lots of good fellowship. So I'm just going to go around the horn and ask you this question. What were your 2 favorite aspects of the retreat, and who did you enjoy meeting the most? Jordan, why don't you go first?
Okay, I guess the thing that I enjoyed most, since I'm the newest to the group, was actually meeting people in, flesh and blood, and seeing how tall everybody is compared to the small little me. It's much easier to talk to people when you're standing next to them and you get the body language as part of the whole process. So that was great. And as far as people that I enjoyed talking to, Rich Gapra was really interesting, a very fascinating guy, and getting to meet his wife. We share our senior status with each other. So that was really precious. Really enjoyed that.
Great. Thanks, Jordan. John Chess, how about yourself?
David, I believe at one point you had mentioned in one of the Mastermind podcasts that when we get together for these retreats, it's kind of like a homecoming. And that's really the aspect that was just so rewarding, just to lay eyes on these guys in, like Jordan said, in real life, after having seen them, just in the little picture on the screen. And with the Wednesday night guys, we don't get a chance to see them as much. We have the author interviews, or if we drop in on a different night. So seeing some of the Wednesday guys that we've enjoyed being with in person, that was just really meaningful to me, and to be able to sit and kind of catch up a little bit. It was really great to meet the guys from Iceland. I also enjoyed the heck out of getting to meet Dana from Colorado and chat with him for a while. But the one that really jumps to my mind is the fact that Jeff was able to bring his son Daniel and his wife, particularly after having told the story about wondering if they would ever be able to take a vacation and go out of town and spend some time together as a family, and to know that they were able to make this road trip together, to spend some time with extended family before they got to the retreat, and then that they were able to be there in the hotel with him. I think it was very meaningful for Jeff, but it was meaningful for me to be able to meet his wife and son as well.
I agree. Thanks for sharing, John. Tony, how about yourself?
Well, I go back to, it was really nice to touch base with everybody that we haven't seen in a year, and, catch up with Joe and Ian and everybody else and see where their life is. Did not like the fact that Joe told me he was as old as Alex, which really made me feel very old that night. But it was really nice just to kind of hang out with everybody a little more. As far as people, I really enjoyed meeting the guys and comparing notes with the guys from Iceland and seeing what they were doing and how things were different.
That's excellent. Matt Bando, how about yourself?
I thought it was a really good weekend. I think it was just as good, if not better, I think I told you, than last year. I thought where we had it was great. The bonus, like Tony was saying, the guys from Iceland was really neat. I wish I could just click my heels and we could just do it all over again this weekend. It just seems like we just need more time and more love, companionship, and talk. And it's just such a great, wonderful weekend. And it reminded me a lot of last year, but even better.
Anybody in particular that you enjoyed meeting?
I did enjoy not talking about kids, but Gus, right? Is that the way you say it? The guy from Iceland? He was quite interesting. And I think I told you, Dave, that he just seemed to kind of come over and hug me a couple times. And like, he was like my buddy. And I'm like, I don't know where it came from, but I was like, all right, this is cool. So it was really neat to find out about how it only gets to 65 degrees in the middle of the summer. And then how the average temperature is about 0 or minus 10 in the winter. Those guys have guts. And coming here, I know it's not super far away, but when somebody tells you that they live on an island that only has 400,000 people, if you're not intrigued, I don't know. There's something wrong with you, because I want to go there now.
Yeah.
So,
Well, hopefully you'll have a chance to take him up, because he's very welcoming as far as people visiting. Matt Rebine, what about you?
Like, my favorite moment was the dinner at Maggiano's. I mean, I really enjoyed it. Just felt like an extended family, literally sitting down to an Italian feast. I mean, I ate a lot. I drank more alcohol than I've drunk in quite a long time. And we had quite the table with myself and Ian and Jeff, the three guys from Iceland, and Mozzie. And when you think about it, where else would you get such an eclectic, crazy group of people, and almost every other respect have nothing in common, to sit down at a table and just, enjoy the heck out of each other's company and, share ideas, share heartfelt stories and laugh a ton. I mean, no, that was just I really enjoyed that dinner time. And the folks at that table, I just really enjoyed being with them. Ian and I have a kind of a neat affinity because some of our professional overlap there. And, Jeff, I've just have a ton of respect for him. I feel like I finally got to sit down and talk with him in more detail than I ever have. And, the three Iceland guys, we've already talked to them, but I really enjoyed getting to know Mozzie. I mean, that's such a interesting guy who's just literally willing to, lay, his body and soul on the line for his kid.
Thanks for sharing, Matt. I'll just mention that one of the things that I enjoyed most was the meet and greet, when you're, having everybody introduce themselves. There's a lot of new faces there this year. And I can't underscore the importance of the fact that, we were able to get away for the weekend, right? We got a hall pass, if you will. And it has a lot to do with the fact that our wives are holding down the fort. No matter what your situation is, the wives are holding down the fort. Yeah. So it was really nice to get away and to spend time with you guys. So
I wasn't going to come to the dinner, and then I ended up coming to dinner, and I'm so thankful that I ended up coming to eat with you guys, because I sat at their table. And not like it was profound when we talked, but dads are dads wherever they come from. And we talked about the issues with trying to get dads to open up and communicate and talk about their kids. It's the same in Iceland it is in the United States. And I knew that, but to actually hear it come from them in such an honest way, and just to listen to these guys talk about how much they care about their children and how much they care about reaching out to other dads and making a difference, I thought was just fantastic. And so definitely the highlight of this retreat was meeting the three fellows from Iceland, because I got to sit with them at that table and we talked some good personal conversations. So I think a combination was great. So
thanks, Jeff. Ian, how about you? What were your two favorite aspects of the retreat, and who did you enjoy meeting the most?
My two favorite aspects of the retreat were just the growth It was so cool to be in that room and to just feel how much the group has expanded and to know that it's touched so many other people. I think too, also our conversation about actually respite was important. It's a topic that you can't talk about enough. It's what keeps you going at the very end of the day, and it's what allows you to show up and be a great parent. I would say in terms of the people that I met, I'm going to actually give a huge shout out to Daniel. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Thanks, Ian.
Yep.
Joe, how about you?
My favorite aspect every year is that bike ride. It's probably because I never work out or exercise, and and it always pushes me. I am surprised at what I can actually accomplish if I just sit on a bike and go, and I don't know if it's the community aspect of it or what, but just a great time. I don't know, I guess I would say the dinner too. It was just a very relaxed atmosphere. I mean, it was like Italian home, just hanging out and good conversations. Of course, the conversations are great too with just meeting all the guys. So my favorite guy I met, surprisingly, was Brad, but I had like 10 hours with him. I was I was with him 5 hours up and 5 hours back, and we talked. We just had a conversation the whole time. And he was just awesome to get to know, some guy 2 miles away from me, And then I mentioned Jarrell and Tony because I got to talk with those guys. It was funny, like with you guys, I've met you guys for so many years now. It's like, yeah, there's Ian. All right, there's Jeff. All right, cool. Let's meet some new guys, and get some fresh. Of course, it was cool to see you guys and to meet guys that I won't see for a long time. Was kind of interesting too.
Excellent. Thanks for sharing, Joe. Shane, did you want to share from your past experience?
It's odd that Joe mentioned the bike ride because when I was at the last one, I really enjoyed that bike ride too. Just pumping them pedals and breaking the sweat and just getting out of the routine of not working out like Joe said. That was probably one of my favorite memories.
Excellent. Thanks for sharing, Shane. Jason, how about you?
I think last time I attended is that talk at the park, like the picnic. I feel like that was very refreshing to have just a talk in the park without a kid, with a whole bunch of guys, which is very different than what I used to. People was very encouraging about like with each others, and really, as a group where we are really trying to lift each other up, and in today's dang world now, everyone trying to put everyone down instead, So that's why I really enjoy the group, is because a lot of the things we are going through is hard to share to other people that just couldn't remotely relate to what we are going through mentally. So, yeah.
For me, the thing that I really enjoyed the most was the first night with the introductions and some of the local dads that participated, like Jim Mullen, the disabled Chicago police officer who's a ventilator dependent quadriplegic. And, he dropped off some of his applesauce, right, to share with the group. And then we had Alvin Green from Al's Cookie Mixx, Mixx. It was really generous of him to give us cookies for Friday as well as Saturday. Those cookies are just amazing. And as far as meeting people, I really enjoyed, and I'm not just saying this because you're on the line, Jeff, meeting Michelle and Daniel, and then Kathy, Rich's wife. What a bonus that was, right? In addition to, meeting guys like Brad who are there for the first time, meeting the guys from Iceland. And for me, I've interviewed, many of the guys that are involved with the Special Fathers Network and who are just getting involved, right? With the Nashville group, with the Denver group, with the London group. And I'd never met Jarrell Roach before. We just have been virtual buddies. So he's a hoot, right? I have a lot of respect for that guy. So anyway, I just want to say thanks for allowing me to record a couple of thoughts.